I used to believe a secret could survive if the right people stayed quiet. Smile, deny, tuck the worst parts where no one will look, and life would keep moving. That was my plan until Liam sat across from me at our kitchen table and said, "I won't lie for you." He didn't raise his voice. He didn't slam a door. He just said the truth out loud, and the story I'd been selling fell apart in minutes. Liam and I were together 3 years. He's steady in a way that looks boring until you lose it. Early runs. Dented water bottle. Pays bills the day they arrive. I worked at a small PR agency where relationship building covers a lot of late nights, long dinners, and rides home that blur into excuses. My boss, Trent, has the kind of charm people mistake for kindness. He says your name. He laughs at the right moment. He watches you the way a director watches a scene, like he knows the next line before you do. When it started, I told myself I'd earned the attention. He praised my decks in front of clients, saved me a chair in meetings, and lingered after events to debrief in the back of a car. The first time we crossed a line, we were on a press trip with rooms on the same floor. He knocked at 11:40 with 2 tiny bottles and a soft smile and asked if I was sure. I said yes. After that we made rules. No photos. No personal phones. Never the same hotel twice in a row. I told myself rules made it safer. They only made it feel planned. Weeks became months. It wasn't only on the road. It was a quiet hour in his office after everyone left. It was a lunch that ran to late afternoon. It was a rideshare billed as client time when it was only us. We put a room on the company card once when the hotel overbooked. We filed a dinner for 2 as a meeting. Trent never promised to leave his wife. I told myself that meant we were equals making choices. The truth was ugly and simple. I liked being chosen in secret and I hated how small I felt everywhere else. Liam noticed before he knew. He asked why I changed the passcode on my phone and kept it face down. He asked about a dress I couldn't afford. He asked about hotel points that hit our shared email for a trip I said was only a day. I called him insecure and told him to stop making drama. He didn't fight me. He went quiet in that way he has when he's collecting facts, and I mistook it for surrender. He kept showing up. Walking the dog when I was stuck at the office, leaving dinner in the fridge, asking if I'd gotten home safe. While I told myself I was in control because I had rules. It broke open on a Sunday. My sister saw me at brunch across town and sent a photo from the sidewalk. My hand was on Trent's wrist. "Who's the guy?" she wrote. I replied client and felt my chest turn to ice. That night I told Liam a version of the truth. I said we kissed a few times. I said it was over. I cried hard, which made it look brave. He listened without interrupting. Then he asked 3 questions. How long? Did we use work time? Did I want to stay with him? I hesitated on the second one, which answered all of them. He nodded once, like a person who finally has the last piece of a puzzle. "I won't lie for you," he said. "If someone asks, I'm telling the truth. I won't help you protect a man who used work power to get what he wanted." I called him cruel. I said he was trying to ruin my career. He slept on the couch. In the morning he packed a bag, kissed the dog on the head, and left his key on the hook by the door. I still thought I could manage it. I met with HR and used careful words. I said there had been a boundary issue. Mutual, brief, never touched my work. The HR director had kind eyes and a hard spine. She asked about expenses and messages. I said no to both. She thanked me for coming forward and said they would review. I walked out believing I had gotten ahead of it. Liam called Trent's wife the same day. He told her the truth because, in his words, she deserved to know where her husband had been. She confronted Trent. He panicked. He ran to HR with a different story and printed flirty messages that made me look like the pursuer. He left out his midnight notes that said, "Come by for 5 minutes," and his praise that blurred into something else. He told HR I hinted I'd accuse him if he ended it. None of that happened. Enough was messy that it didn't matter. Agencies are small towns with better clothes. Slack went quiet when I joined a channel. Emails that once started with "Hey Rockstar" came bare and flat. My closest work friend, Zoe, texted, "I love you but I need space," and then she muted our thread. My mother asked if Trent was leaving his wife. I said no and heard her go still in a way that felt permanent. 2 days later HR called me into a conference room that smelled like old coffee and toner and told me my employment was ending for cause. Code of conduct and expense misuse. My name badge stopped working by noon. I left with a box of desk plants and a framed photo of me and Liam I couldn't look at and couldn't throw away. Trent was fired the next week. His wife posted a photo of their kids at a park with a caption about boundaries. People from the office liked it where everyone could see. He sent me one text, "You ruined my life." I didn't answer. I was busy trying to hold mine together. The landlord wanted proof of income to renew my lease. I didn't have it. I listed my gala dress on a resale app and cried when the buyer messaged, "Wore this to my engagement party," with 3 hearts. I boxed gifts I'd kept from brand events and sold them for grocery money. I sat in the dark more than once to stretch the power bill. Liam did not come back. He also didn't drag me online or tell my family more than they needed to know. He sent one last message, "I told the truth because lies rot everything around them. I won't trash you. I also won't help you pretend this didn't matter. I hope you get help." Then he blocked me. He left the dog with me because he travels sometimes. It felt like mercy and punishment at the same time. She still waits by the door at 5 and then curls around my feet when no one walks in. Friends split into camps. A couple checked in but wouldn't meet me in public while the office was buzzing. A guy from Creative sent a "late you up," and I blocked him because even I can see a pattern. My sister forgave me in slow inches but asked me not to come to her housewarming because Trent's ex joined her book club and it would be awkward. The story followed me to places I never told it. At the grocery store a woman from accounting gave me a tight smile and turned down the next aisle. At the gym a stranger asked if I was "that girl from the PR firm," and my throat locked up around the word no. People say getting fired is a chance to reinvent yourself. Reinvention needs money and time. PR is small. Every interview ends with the same question, "Why did you leave?" I try a version of the truth that won't burn the room down. I violated policy, and I'm rebuilding trust. Sometimes the hiring manager nods and still never calls. I pick up small freelance gigs writing captions for local shops and teach a night class at the community college where nobody cares who I used to be. Rent still comes. I sell shoes I don't need and furniture that made the apartment look grown up. The plants from my desk live on my windowsill and, somehow, refuse to die. In therapy I practice plain sentences. I cheated with my boss. I used work time. I lied to the man I loved and then asked him to lie so I wouldn't face the cost. He told the truth. I lost my job and most of my friends. Saying it straight hurts less than dressing it up. My therapist asks what I thought I was buying with The Secret. Attention, I say. Safety, I say. Power, I add after a long minute. She nods and asks me to name the power. I hate the answer. It wasn't power. It was permission to ignore who I was becoming. Last week I saw Liam on his run, rain soaking his hoodie, ugly shoes slapping the sidewalk. I almost crossed the street. He saw me and stopped. We said hello. I told him I'm in therapy and trying to be sober from lies the way people are sober from alcohol. One day at a time. He nodded. He didn't ask about work. He didn't ask if I was dating. He didn't hand me a stage. He said, "Take care," and kept running. I stood with the dog and watched him go and finally felt the full quiet of what I broke. People still talk. I can't stop them. The ones who matter either don't, or they look me in the eye at the farmer's market and say hey like a person can continue. If I could go back to that hotel door, I would tell myself the rush is a cheap loan with interest I can't afford and that quiet love is worth more than a secret. I can't go back. So I walk the dog. I answer emails with my full name and no extra sparkle. I keep my phone face up. I cook and clean and pay what I can. I try to be the kind of honest Liam was when he chose truth over comfort. Some days I fail. Some days I don't. On my fridge there's a sticky note that says, "No more stories." I leave it there, and for once, I mean it.